Hello friends, this is Mehul Bambania. After completing the fundamental theory of computational fluid dynamics, now we are ready to solve actual fluid flow and heat transfer problem. We are going to use commercial CFD software ANSYS Fluent. To learn ANSYS and Fluent, I had identified very simple problem of flow through pipe. Let us consider these are the geometrical dimensions of pipe. In this pipe, this one is the inlet condition and this one is the outlet conditions. Now we will solve this problem with the help of ANSYS and Fluent as a solver. So let's start ANSYS workbench. If you are not aware about how to install and download, you can go through the link given in the description box to install the latest new version of ANSYS, that is ANSYS 2020 R2. Now from ANSYS toolbox, you drag fluid flow with Fluent. So by dragging that box, it will appear in this way. Let us rename our problem as a flow through nozzle, or you can write flow through channel. Now these are the intermediate steps. We should create geometry, mesh, solution settings, and finally post processing. Now to create that geometry, in the ANSYS we have two different CAD tool is available. First one is SpaceClaim, second one is Design Modeler. You can also import the geometry from external CAD software. So right now we will use the SpaceClaim for constructing the geometry. So this is the console for the SpaceClaim. Since our geometry is in millimeter, so let's first change the unit in the from meter to millimeter, and because we are working with micro size of channel, so let's modify minor grid size of 0.1 mm. With this change, we can able to create the micro size of dimensions. Now you have to identify your sketching plane. That means either XY, either YZ, or either ZX. So right now we are willing to draw our geometry in XY plane. So let's, with the help of mouse, you can drag and select your constructing plane, sketching plane, and then you just start your drawing. Now with the help of selecting tool, you can move your origin of axis. To initiate the sketch, we have several options. From that options, I am selecting line. With the help of line, I will construct entire sketch of nozzle as dimensions mentioned in the statement of the problem. You can also input the dimensions with the help of tab key. The diameter of this channel is of 2 mm and the nozzle section length is of 1 mm. You can also indicating the dimensions in your sketch. The nozzle, I already mentioned that is of 1 mm in the length and 0.3 mm in the dia. So you can select these two different edges to represent this diameter of nozzle. The diameter of pipe is of 2 mm. Once it will finished, you can end the sketch, so it will appearing like this. So when you look into the geometry section, geometry is not updated and not showing in the mesh segment. In that case, first you should save your file in desired folder. Then you can import that file, the geometry file, from that folder, so that issue will be resolved. I also saved my geometry file in the space claim. You can put your file name. Right now I put as a nozzle. After that, that file can be extracted. You just give a right click and import that file with the name of nozzle. So once you import that file, space claim file, the question mark will disappear and reflected as a right click. Now you can also update your mesh by clicking update on the mesh file. Just you click right click on the mesh and update that file, so our geometry will imported in this mesh segment. Now to create, before creating mesh, you can define the material, either fluid or solid, that you have to specify in the geometry section. In the geometry section, with the help of material, you can assign whether that was the fluid or whether it was solid entity. Now to create a mesh, you just make a right click and you will have insert option. So several methods we are having, so I will choose to provide the sizing options. By sizing option, I can choose the element size. I can decide the element size. So here in the tree, you choose the element size, and since our nozzle having a 0.3 mm of dia, so if I require 10 elements, so I will choose my element size as a 0.03 mm. So in that way also you can decide your minimum size of mesh element, and you just click behavior as a hard behavior, so every element will maintain 0.03 mm of size. Then simply you generate that mesh. It took little bit of time, so you can see in this nozzle section we have 10 total element in the vertical directions. Now we know that at the entry of the nozzle, it required little bit fine mesh, so that mesh you can improve. See, right now total number of mesh element is almost 7000, so you can improve that mesh with the option of refinement. You just go through mesh, insert that refinement. Now where you required to refine your mesh, simply I want to refine my mesh at this particular edges, near to this particular edges. So I had selected that 6 edges, and simply I had refining factor I had defined as a 2. If you required more refinement, you can incorporate 3. So by refining that mesh, it will refine the mesh element in this way. After refining the mesh element, we can restructure this mesh element, so the irregular shape of mesh size can be eliminated with the options like you make a right click. In the insert, you just select the option of face meshing. In the face meshing, I select entire face. So in that entire face, it will rearrange the mesh element in the structured manner. So this is how now this mesh element are rearranged and it's look structurally. Now we can see total number of mesh element is around 9600. So this is how you can create mesh. You can also use more options to refine that mesh. Once you create that mesh, you should assign the boundary conditions at all possible boundaries. This I refer as inlet for my case, and outlet for this pipe I am choosing this boundary as outlet section. And separately I am going to select this nozzle wall so that in the later stage I can assign specific condition to that wall. So you just give the name for that 6 edges as a nozzle wall. If you are not assigning any boundary condition, that is by default Fluent will consider as a wall or no slip conditions. So we have inlet and outlet, as well as we have wall at a nozzle. Once you finished your mesh, you should update that data. So it will right click appeared on the segment. Then after you have to start your solver, Fluent as solver. So double click on Fluent. It will start this console where the boundary condition as well as mesh will imported in this Fluent solver. In the Fluent we have several options. We can set the physics, you can have user defined functions, or you can same tree will appear on the left hand corner also. You can also change the appearance. Right now it is default appearance. If your monitor is not accessible to all information, you can customize that window. Now from setup, initially you can check your scale dimensions unit. So right now I select as mm. I wish to visualize my geometry in mm. So with the scale you can also modify the scale. Then you check your mesh check must be done. We are going to use pressure based solver. We are considering steady flow. Now after general setup, we can set the physics of the problem. Since this was the turbulent flow problem, so in the viscous you can identify the appropriate model for simulating the turbulent flow. So I will use K epsilon realizable model for my case. So once you select that viscous model, you can also select from top panel physics of that viscous bar. After selecting the viscous model, you can assign the fluid material. Double click on that fluid. By default it was air is in assigning to that fluid, but I will go through the database, and then from the Fluent database you can select the fluid which you want to supply through this pipe. So let's say I will use diesel as a fuel, so I will select diesel liquid from this Fluent database, and I wish to simulate the diesel flow inside this small channel. So these are the property Fluent are considering. You can also change the property fluid property from this tab. Let's say my diesel density I am considering 830 kg per meter cube for my case, so you can change that also. So now that diesel I have to assign to my inner fluid zone. So you just go through sail zone conditions, and inside that sail zone conditions by default it was air, so you have to change that from air to diesel liquid or whatever fluid you are going to use. So without fail that you have to change. After assigning the material to that cell zone conditions, we can assign the boundary conditions at inlet and outlet. In current problem, at the inlet we are having pressure inlet, so I have to verify my inlet condition should be pressure inlet condition. So go to the boundary condition, select on inlet. Now on the boundary condition type, you are having various types of boundary condition that you can assign. So from that you just identified, you just select the pressure inlet, and the value for that pressure inlet I am considering as a 100 bar of pressure. That 100 bar of pressure, at the 100 bar of pressure, diesel will enter into this channel and it will come out at the 40 bar of pressure. So you simply insert that 100 bar of value into this gauge pressure value. So because it is in the Pascal, so you just 100 into 10 raised to 5 you have to use. Now this is the initial gauge pressure. You have to use the smaller value than the 100 bar, so I am using 95 bar of pressure for a good initialization for the problem. You have to assign the initial turbulence. I am considering 5% turbulence intensity at the inlet, that is the diameter of 2 mm. So you just assign that information at the inlet. At the outlet also I am assigning as a pressure outlet boundary conditions, and at the outlet I am considering 40 bar of pressure. So you just assign that 40 bar over here. I am unable this prevent reverse flow to avoid divergence in my iterations. You can also assign the wall conditions. In the wall condition, it is considered as a stationary wall. So in the wall conditions, when you go to the edit mode, you can also assign the right now it is no slip condition, that means at the wall velocity will be 0. You can also assign the roughness element height to that wall. Now after assigning all boundary conditions, we should go with solution settings. So in that solution settings, in the about tree also you can go with the solution settings. You just initially select your method of solutions. So for pressure velocity coupling I am using Simplex algorithm. For the pressure momentum I am using second order upwind scheme. You can also go with the by default setting. Now in the monitor you just set your residual, that is one kind of error or tolerance which you allowed for the continuity equation, momentum equations and turbulent energy equations. So based on that residual, the number of iteration will decide. Once you decide that residual, you can start your calculation by initialize your solution. There are two approaches. You can also initialize with any of inlet or outlet informations, so that is standard initializations. If you don't aware about that initialization information, simply you did the hybrid initializations. So it will calculate 10 iterations and then you start the calculations. So in the calculation activity you can make the auto save options to save your file for each and every iteration. If you wish that, you can insert that number of files over here. Now simply you run your calculations. Before run your calculation, you can check your case. So they will Fluent will give certain recommendations. You can incorporate if you wish. Now you assign the number of iterations. So let's say I had assigned 1000 iterations. Every one iteration I required residual plot, and every one iteration it will updating the values of equations, solving the equations. So once you start your calculations, it will solving the iteration for continuity, x momentum, y momentum and for the turbulent intensity. Now since I had assigned 1000 iterations, so based on the residual values I had assigned residual values for continuity momentum in the range of 10 to the power minus 5. So until that situation will not arise, these equations or these iterations will going on. Once that condition is satisfied, the iteration was stopped. But since you can see my residual will reach 6 into 10 raised to 5, but the total number of iteration what I mentioned over here, it is 1000, so iteration will stop. You can also check what is the residual for x momentum and y momentum. Right now for the x momentum, residual is in the range of 10 raised to minus 5. Other equations are in the range of 10 raised to minus 7. So for me it's fine for demonstrating purpose. You can proceed further iteration also. Once the iteration is calculation was over, you go through the result. Now let's check the various result through the contour. There are pressure contour, velocity contour. You can visualize, which will give the values, range of values for our problem. So this is the pressure contour. You can enable filled. So for the better understanding, so these are the pressure contour in which this red color indicating the maximum pressure value, however blue color indicating the minimum pressure values for my case. So this is obvious that flow will enter with high pressure around 100 bar of pressure, and due to sudden drop in the area, pressure is suddenly fall down and it reach in the minus value. So this is called as a pressure contour. The values are indicating in the legend. You can also save these contours with the help of save pictures. You just make a right click on console, go through the save picture. You can save that picture in the whatever format you required and the whatever dimensions you wish. You can save that picture at desired locations, and then in the later stage you can use in your report in this way. So this one is the pressure contour. Now apart from pressure, we can also see the velocity contour or velocity value. Let's enable the filling options. So these are the velocity contours which will give the range of velocity from minimum value to maximum value. At the nozzle inlet, it's obvious that velocity will be maximum, that is in the range of 150 meter per second. So after that, we can also check the path line. For this case, in the nozzle, let's look into the path line options, go through the path line and set the step and skip. So it's obvious that when fluid will enter into this nozzle, there are a recirculation will create. So that recirculation we can visualize with the help of path line. At the same time, on the backward side, on the downstream, there are two large vertex or create the recirculation zone. You can also save this in the monochromatic or grayscale. You just look preview before save your file. So in the monochromatic options, this streamline is look like this. It's very dense, so you can increase the skip. You can increase the skip so the streamline will appropriately visualize. Now again you just save this streamline pattern with the grayscale options. So this is how it will show the recirculation zone near to that nozzle entry and outlet of that nozzle. You can also see the vector, the flow directions. Wherever there are recirculations, so the flow will in the reverse direction, so that you can visualize with the help of vector options. So let's see velocity vector. Since the magnitude is very larger, so it will reflecting large arrow. So you simply reduce the scale of that arrows or vector, so it will give the better visualizations, where from which you can understand where is the recirculation will happen and what is the directions of flow. So this is how you can simply locate the recirculation zone as well as the direction of flow. These are the arrow indicating the directions of flow inside this channel. This is what reverse flow happen, creating large recirculation zone over here, and that is the region of suction pressure or very high velocity creating in that zone. This is the velocity contour, which clearly shows that there are a large rise of the velocity near to that nozzle center core. So before closing this applications, you should save your file at desired locations. So friends, with this simple problem, we had learned how to calculate pressure velocity with the help of simple calculations. Now in the next session, we will include the transient behavior of the fluid flow, and also in the subsequent sections, we will discuss about the multi-phase of the flow. So stay connected with this channel. Thank you very much.